we need to get back to discussing a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Hello, I'm Eric Nakame. I'm a political opinion author, and I'm on Substack. I'm currently working on my second book. I have a new article in Substack in which I discuss my support for a two-state solution. Yes, I believe Israel has a right to exist, but the Palestinian people do as well. They have a right to live in peace and in a state in which they can prosper. So I think it's important that we talk about the issue in a civil way. And let me interject, if I may. I'd like to express my condolences to the family, friends, and supporters of the late Senator Lindsey Graham. My writing is about encouraging more civility, more open dialogue and civil dialogue and respectful dialogue. And 2 days after the passing of a United States Senator is not the time to express all the criticisms or what you don't like about what the late senator did, about his personal sexual preferences. You know, that's his personal business, and certainly now is not the time to discuss such issues. We want to be a society that is kind and moral, and I don't know what length of time we should wait on critiquing a public figure, especially a United States senator, but 2 or 3 days doesn't seem appropriate. Now, back to the discussion about a two-state solution in the Middle East. And I just want to say what I'm trying to do is not use trigger words. You know, we can talk about genocide, antisemitism, we can talk about Zionism and all of that, but it's not helpful in the discussion. I think we need to get back to where we used to be, where we talked about a two-state solution and not get bogged down with all the other trigger words, because they just, when one side hears Zionism, they shut down. When another side hears genocide, you know, then we get into we're going round and round. And that's not really how we want to approach this issue. I want to end this by bringing up something I discussed in my article, and it's that, you know, as we saw during the COVID pandemic, hate against Asians, Asian Americans is wrong. You know, hate against Muslims is wrong, and currently we're seeing this rise in hate against Americans of Jewish descent, and that's wrong. Scott Weiner, California State Senator Scott Weiner, attending an LGBTQ plus march in California, and he was practically run off of the site. And I just don't understand that. So you're saying that unless we agree on everything, that we can't be civil and friends and still have respect for one another? I mean, that's what it's coming to. And I say, no, we can't have that. So that was wrong. And here was a person who was coming to support the community, the LGBTQ plus community. And to be treated like that is, they were in the wrong. And so we have to work on those type of communications and just work together as Muslims, Jews, Christians, of all the religions, races, sexual identities, to respect one another. Let's have more civility and peace. Thanks so much. Have a great day. I will put a link to the new Substack article. Be well.